Everything in the light get bright like heaven. 3 sevens. Yeah, and everything in the light get bright like heaven. 3 sevens. Yeah, and everything in the dark come to light. Get on my level. Think I'm finna stop going when I turn 27.
See, look at that. Look at GoDaddy. He owns the rights to the website, all this. So, and there's so much things you can do. I mean, there's different positions people get in. Somebody might hit him up and say, man, he's a competition. I'm tired of this. And might say, hey, I just want to buy your whole business. 50 million. Take it. There's deals like that come up all the time. He's like, man, he's really taking over. We can't have it. So exactly. See what I'm saying?
I'm gonna just create a new one.
See what I'm saying? There's nothing that says. See what I'm talking about? There's nothing that says that you can't do that. Like Dr. Dre sold his Beats by Dre, and he could start a new company and say Beats by Andre, and nobody could tell him nothing different. Like, oh, it ain't Dre no more, it's Andre. So he can literally do that if he wanted to, and that's the whole thing. You got to realize this when it comes to business ownership. Is endless. If you look at somebody we look up to is Nipsey Hussle. He had his clothing. He had his record label. He had cultivation. He had all these different businesses that he had. And it was because, he just took a chance. And, the opportunity, the possibilities are endless. So just think about that. So let's go down a little bit. He already pretty much covered everything. And this really breaks it down. Man.
Yeah, that just breaks it down even further. So as far as obedience, I got basic obedience, advanced obedience, behavior modification. Because some trainers don't know how to deal with it. When I say behavior modification, I mean your dog is either acting aggressively towards other people, or and it doesn't necessarily mean aggressive behavior. Your dog could be timid. Your dog could be shy, or scared to come out of the house, scared of its own shadow type thing.
Yeah. And you go into detail. Grooming.
Yeah.
All dogs are welcome short hair. So do you do the grooming yourself?
Yeah, I just finished grooming school.
Okay.
And eventually I've been talking to a veterinarian, but my training services, eventually I want to compete with Petco and PetSmart and those guys, so I want to eventually have grooming, training, and the obedience all in one location, along with your dog food and your dog toys. But on a different level, because I don't like shopping at PetSmart or Petco, and the reason why is because they don't have equipment geared towards my needs. Their obedience training is not geared towards my needs. Petco and PetSmart, those types of places, they only have a positive, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just having a positive style training. I have I'm very high and I promote just a positive way, but you also you need to have balance as far as I'm concerned. And that's my opinion.
That's right. No, you 100% correct. You are 100% correct. And your mindset, let me get into mindset just a little bit so people can understand why this is so important. He said he wants to compete with Petco and PetSmart. Like having that kind of mindset, we're talking about multi-billion-dollar brands, like, and not 1 or 2 billion. These are in the hundreds of billions. So having a mindset to say he wants to compete with these companies, that's a huge mindset to think that way, because they have stores in the Lancasters and the Palmdales of the world, into the small cities, into the Piscataways and New Jerseys and these really small cities. They have stores in there. So to have the kind of mindset like that is big, and having a big mindset is huge. And I'm gonna tell you why, because if your mindset is in the hundreds of billions or compete with these companies like that, then it's inevitable for you to have a company that's worth 7-8 billion, because you're already thinking, I'm gonna compete with these companies that's in the hundreds, multi-hundreds. So for you to have a brand that's 7-8 billion, that's just inevitable, because you already thinking, I'm gonna compete with Pesco, with PetSmart. So
Yeah, off the dribble.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so think. I'm always gonna tell people think big, and if you got to think about if you think, oh, okay, I want to be on LeBron James's level. Okay, so if you're thinking like that, then you at least gonna be average. And an average NBA player, they're gonna make 500 million through their career at least. That's on the low end. So if you're thinking Pesco Pesmart, you 20 billion, you're at least. That's on the low end. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you for your mindset. I want to tell everybody, keep a strong mindset. Like, keep people around you to have big mindsets. Like, you know what I'm saying? I own one business. He already said he gonna turn this into the nonprofit. He already got a big mindset. So having people around with a big mindset is huge. It's only gonna help you. So just think like that. You know, expand your mindset. So let's see. So we can do this is a whole lot of pictures. So you don't have to break all of them down. If you could just pick one on each row, and then we'll go down the page.
All right. So the first row, far right, that's my male pit, Savo. He's my first dog I actually entered into a working dog competition, which is PSA. And I competed with him in PSA. Go down to the next one. We already talked about that first picture. So I'll go to the far right. That's Sativa. She's my dog now. And the difference between her and Savo is like night and day. Savo was a dog. And the reason why, I mean, not saying I won't ever compete with him again, but I don't necessarily like competing with him because he's not the type of dog that wants to work. He doesn't really care to do any real working dog stuff like any of the high level obedience or any of the high level protection stuff that is asked of him in the sport. He doesn't really care to do it. Okay. So rather than keep forcing myself and forcing a dog that doesn't really want to do it, and kind of beating up that tree, I just got my dog right here, Sativa. And she's a dog that's on 1,000 all day long. She wants to work. She wants to play. She wants to run 100 miles from sun up to sundown. She's a dog that wants to work around the clock. And I often tell people when they're looking into getting a dog, you know what you're getting a dog for, and get the right dog.
There we go. So you just got some knowledge for everybody. Know what you're getting your dog for. So don't, if you're getting a dog that, breed is very aggressive and you're going to have them around little babies and you don't want to pay for the specialized training, know what you're getting your dog for. No, like do some homework and research. We are at the point where it's a lot of peer-to-peer. You can go on YouTube, look at hours and hours of videos. But as we see with Derrick, he's going to keep it real with you. He's not just going to tell you something to make a sale. He wants you to be informed about your decision that you're making. This is a part of your family now, so you need to be informed. And he's giving you the type of information that's going to keep you informed. Like some people will just tell you whatever just to make a sale. And that's not what he's doing. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Okay, so I like these pictures, man. So we at this row right here. So whichever picture.
Check, living my life with no regrets. Ain't trying to impress. We finish it less. No feeling, no ceilings. Touching the sky, I fly over buildings. You said you were healing. The ground I'm tilling. I'm planting the seeds. I'm reaping the millions. Hard labor, yeah, I put in the work. They all